All right. Welcome to the Sons of Kojima podcast, everyone. This is the 36th episode, and I'm your annoying honorary host, and my name is Alice. I'm joined by a bunch of great guys here today. I'd like to start off by introducing the man who shouldn't be gaming, Miles.
What's
Everybody?
up?
All right. And I'd like to introduce the SoK's resident Eskimo, Moogle Master 102.
Well, hello there.
And I'd also like to introduce a great guy, Mr. Onako Pro, aka Lester.
Howdy here.
And next, I'd like to introduce is Nomad 510.
What's going on, guys? We're all murderers here.
No, attempted murders. And next, I'd like to introduce is Blake.
Hi.
Right. And next, I'd like to introduce is our angry boxer, Che, aka Retrospective PC.
That's what's up. I'd like to murder two things: a fucking cheesesteak or a Brooklyn style pizza and some patang, but not in the way you think.
Yep.
And last but certainly not least, I'd like to introduce the SOK mastermind himself, Fred Fox.
Whoa, now, mastermind. That's going a little far here. I would say that I am a confidant, if you will. Thank you, Miss Alice, for the kind introductions. I'd also like to welcome on two of our special guests tonight, in addition to Miss Alice here. We've got Mr. Vaping and Gaming himself, who's probably doing both of those things tonight.
Most likely.
And, of course, good old Drillbit.
Hi, everyone.
Fantastic.
What's up?
So welcome.
I'm just gonna publicly shame Alice because she forgot about me.
No, she did not.
Hi, Pastel.
Hi.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Huskel.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, your name was actually left off the list here on Skype, oddly enough.
Good.
Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Awesome. So, anyways, thank you guys all for the introduction and the warm attendance and all that good stuff. And most of all, to our viewers here tonight, thank you guys for showing up. We appreciate that. We have a lot of stuff to get to, of course, a lot of things going on in the world as we know it. But the first thing we just want to do is give you guys just a brief update with the water charity, as we always do. We're not plugging it this time. We're just giving you an update. We've got 5 days left, and we've already made the goal. So if you don't feel like donating, cool. We've already got 100% of the project
Yeah,
funded.
we did it.
We have done it.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. So I guess the only thing to give you guys an update on would be the I guess it would just be the challenges that are going to be coming up. There's a lot of different things that people are going to be doing and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for all of those things, and we'll update you guys as things go on. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably publish the list, and we'll do all that kind of stuff. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with one of the most relevant topics of the night, something that might start off the podcast on a little bit of a down note, but it's something that we have to address. It's the elephant in the room. So let's get right on into it. Last night, well, let's go back even a little bit further than that. Throughout the week, Darkside Phil, DSP Gaming, I'm sure you guys know who he is, was claiming that he was getting DDoSed. A lot of people were skeptical. A lot of us were skeptical as well. He originally was claiming that he had internet issues. We thought that that was reasonable. Then he moved on into DDoSing, and we thought he was getting a little bit conspiratorial. We weren't exactly sure what was going on there. So this was going on for a number of things before the Batman stream, which, in his own words, was very important to him, something that he was really looking forward to in terms of an influx of revenue, some views coming in. Then we move on to yesterday. Now, yesterday was not really something you can dispute. Phil had a number of police officers from his local police department show up to his house, apparently called in by some pranker, whatever else. And, I guess the term would be swatting, but he had his local police department come, and they were there on a call of, who knows, I think he said murder, something like that. So let's get directly into that. Thoughts, guys? How do you guys feel coming out of this? Let's get a little bit of an update from us, since we've only been tweeting a little bit about it. But now that we're in voice, now that we're here in person, let's get into it.
This is sickening. Someone would stoop this far doing something like this. And as much as I'm a critic myself of Phil, I wouldn't wish that upon him or encourage it at all, by all means. I don't think anybody here would. And this is absolutely ridiculous. The DDoSing, I'm not a big fan of in general. I've never been a fan of that at all. I've seen some of my favorite streamers get DDoSed all the time, just for the fun of it. And same for swatting. It's just this common trend that's been happening, and I don't like it one bit. I am not a fan of it, and I mean, it's a shame on whoever did it, because this is absolutely disgusting and just goes both things. And I mean, the DDoSing and the swatting, absolutely disgusting ways to fuck around with someone. I don't know who would have done this, but it's just very repulsive.
And your thoughts?
I thought it was really disgusting. I didn't like it one bit. I don't support it, neither does any of us, and that's okay to support any DDoSing or any swatting of any sort. And I thought it was honestly disgusting. I thought it was disturbing, and that's all I have to say.
Right. The problem here is that nobody here in the SoK wanted anything like this to happen. None of us have ever promoted this or encouraged this. Of course, none of us have ever participated in anything like this. Unfortunately, people are Phil, I mean specifically, but other people around Phil are trying to suggest that we had something to do with this. And, obviously, we think it's ridiculous. It's obviously something that makes us look bad. I think that this whole situation goes against everything that we wanted. I mean, I pointed out yet last night that, one of the things that we've had in our, I don't know how much significance you could put behind like a channel about section, but in our channel about section, we've had a disclaimer that we don't condone or promote or encourage or participate in any sort of manifestations of ill will in real life, right? So, we make parody videos, we give criticism, we make snappy tweets here and there, but at the end of the day, it's not to go further than that. It's just supposed to stick to that. Parody, stuff like that. And, we were surprised by it. A lot of us were, sort of disgusted by it. At the end of the day, I mean, you can't control what people are going to do. Nobody from what I know, nobody that I've talked to knows anything about this as far as who did it. And, we're waiting like everybody else to see what happens with the investigation. I'm sure that, as Phil said, the police are going to do an investigation on this. And, we'll see. We'll see if they can find somebody. Mm-hmm. But that's the main thing that we're worried about right now is, the perception that's going to come from this based on the fact of, we're the well-known people that, are critical of Phil. Therefore, instantly, we're the first people that are going to get the blame for this. So that's just the thing that we're trying to, address tonight. And we didn't want to get too far into it everywhere else. Some people make jokes about it. Everybody has their own opinion on things. And of course, not everybody in a group is going to think the exact same way, right? So a number of us are disgusted. We don't like it. But then there's some people that, they think it's a joke and they go on Twitter and stuff like that. And, that's their right to do that. You that's just, normal for a group that you're going to have different people with different opinions. It's not like we are robots and we all think exactly the same.
Yep. It's disgusting that it happened. It really is.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just
Not really happy
appalled.
about this.
I'm at a loss for words. I mean,
Yeah.
there's certain ways you handle it too, and let's be honest, Phil didn't exactly handle it in the most professional of ways, or the most I guess sanity of ways, or whatever, or respectful ways, by accusing people that criticize you or make this I don't play videos of you of indirectly being involved of quote unquote attempted murder. That just makes you sound like a lunatic. I mean, let's be honest here. How he responded to it was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my fucking life when it came to responding to anything. You can't shut down people criticizing. You can't shut down people not liking you because of a few bad apples in the bunch that took it too far. That's bullshit. He comes off like an old, crazy man, and that just shows to his fucking ego that he thinks people are that obsessed with him for him to shout at the fucking screen telling people to do something with their lives, as if people don't like Phil don't do anything with their lives, coming from a 32-year-old man that sits on his ass playing video games all day. Let's be honest, who's the one that's not doing something with their life? But to sit here and to accuse people that don't like you, that make this I don't play videos about you, of I don't know what the fuck, what's the term when you're not involved in it but they still involve you, like in something, association, or indirectly involved with swatting or quote unquote attempted murder. It's just bullshit, and it's just someone being a professional victim. None of us was involved in that shit, and I can speak for the fucking group when I say that. And none of us that make this I don't play videos or DSP tries it, it doesn't make you indirectly involved with anything malicious or anything threatening physical harm. Get the fuck out of here. You're fucking crazy. There's something wrong with you when you think like that. You are truly mentally ill when you think like that. That's all I got to say.
It really pissed me off about it. I was neutral towards the whole thing, but when he went to that, I almost died because of you shit, I'm like, you didn't even get cuffs put on you, dude.
Well,
Your life was not in danger.
Well, yeah, it's not like they were pointing a gun to his head or anything.
He claims
then he says he goes out. He says he went outside. He had a nice conversation with was it the general, something like that. Then fast forward, now he had guns aimed at him.
Yeah, it was only like a 5-minute conversation, and he's blowing it up.
Not even a day later, his story changes.
Yeah, well, actually, his story changed in the middle of his rant, because he said that originally there were 20 people, and then all of a sudden, I think I may have misheard, but I'm pretty sure I heard him say later 50.
He doesn't know what the fuck is going on in his own life.
Yeah, and the one thing that
ridiculous.
made me mad is he said that no one in the SoK was the one that was responsible, and he there's like literal proof of him saying that, but then he goes back and starts saying that we were a part of it, that we did this, and
he just uses because actually when you accuse someone of committing a crime, it is actual slander, so he knows he can't say that without any proof, but he uses the indirect card. They're indirectly responsible for it. They by them not liking me or criticizing me, they hype people up, which is the biggest fucking bullshit, and it just plays to your fucking gigantic ego of a man that think that he's that important doing fucking let's plays on YouTube, yelling at the fucking screen like a lunatic anytime something bad happens to him, when it wasn't even that bad, and you're crying on fucking air like a bitch about it, accusing us of being involved in quote unquote attempted murder. I think that's the actual slander here, don't y'all think?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
Go ahead, Nomad.
Never mind.
No, go on, Nomad.
Yeah, no, man.
Oh, fine. Good.
All right. So, I mean, that's the next thing that we wanted to talk about is obviously his reaction to it. Right after this happened, he went on dinner break or whatever, came back and did instead of a pre-stream, he kind of did like a live action pre-stream, I guess you could call it.
Waited for them views too.
And
of course,
waited for them views.
Essentially, what his message
his life was in danger.
Essentially, what his message was is, and also I'm gonna read a quote. Let me grab that real quick, but I'll go ahead and preface this, and then I'm gonna read this quote because this was a very relevant point by one of our friends. But essentially, what he did, he went on and he talked about how, look, these people that make This Is How You Don't Play videos, it probably wasn't them. But just by the virtue of them making these videos, by there being this internet negativity around me, at no fault of my own, because there's an internet there's an internet base of negativity around me, that is what almost killed me. What is that slurping sound? Sorry, that really threw me off. All right, sorry. So, goes on, talks about how if you guys, my fans, if you guys ever see anyone that is being negative towards me, that is trying to slander me, that is trying to hate on me, you just respond with, I could have died. And that is the thing that he wanted to drive home. Not that, not that the DDoSers, not that the swatters, that just they did anything to him.
Anybody who's did that.
All of us, this community, is responsible for this. And essentially what he's trying to do is he's trying to use this to end all the negativity without making any changes whatsoever, without doing any of the things that the people that are critical of are asking him to do. He wants to go business as usual. He wants his fans to rally around him. And he wants to get a get out of jail free card based on this event.
What I was going to say earlier is he said that this is how you don't place cause murder, or not murder, but or attempted lewd acts upon him. When he in the past said himself he wanted people to die on the internet, like way back then, he told someone to go
die in a fucking fire.
He told someone, insulted somebody's birth, did all of this, and it's just ridiculous.
What really irritated me is he was calling it a form of terrorism.
Right.
That was overreacting on his part. I mean, it's called domestic terrorism. I think that is a legit thing. But he didn't have to draw it out to that proportion. He could have just said someone's been causing some unfunny pranks or something like that instead of calling it terrorism. But he's just trying to, blow it up out of proportion and make it seem like his life really was threatened when SWAT teams, as long as you're not going to do anything, and for one thing, I don't think it was a SWAT team because they wouldn't have called him first to warn him so he could escape if he were trying to murder his girlfriend. And second thing is they probably would have at least checked the house first, and as long as he would have cooperated, he wouldn't have anything happen to him.
Right. Let me go ahead. Let me read this quote real quick. Like I said, this was a really good point. This is from Mr. Brock Hines, good friend of ours, Sons of Kojima member, of course. And I'll just read it in its entirety. Surprisingly, this video actually had nothing to do with swatting or DDoSing. The swatting was just a lever to make DSP rationalize why people don't have the right to criticize him because some people took it too far and he got swatted. He went after every detractor of his in this video except the actual DDoSers or swatters, the ones he's meant to be pissed about. This was nothing but DSP trying to convince himself that anyone who makes negative videos about him are the cause of all of his problems and that he had nothing to do with the negativity that he gets on YouTube. He was actually laughing at how the swatters failed on stream when it actually occurred. He even did his trademark seal clap to them. Evidently, he didn't give a shit about the actual swatting. He only cared about it to use it as a means as an end to stop any and all criticism through guilt tripping. I mean, bravo. That sums the whole thing up. If you didn't watch the video, that's exactly what he's saying.
You could look at his Twitter. Right after it happened, he tweeted about it, and he seemed to be all right. Then within an hour later, it's almost like somebody talked to him and made him think different, or he saw dollar signs and said, "I can stretch this out. I can make another video and get people to like me again."
Yeah, he put on his best Oscar award winning performance to do an hour rant video, and 99% of the time you're fucking yelling at people who make This Is How You Doing plays. You're telling them to do something with their lives, coming from a fucking fat fuck that sits on his ass playing video games 8 hours a day. The irony in that, and he's yelling at us and shit instead of the people who actually did that to him, quote unquote swatted him. You're not yelling at them, you're yelling at fucking us when we had nothing to do with it. We're not directly, indirectly, we're not involved in that type of shit in any sort of way, but we're the ones taking the blame for it.
Exactly.
What a great time for me to come in.
Perfect. This is our good friend Cyanide Caesar. How you doing tonight, Caesar?
Good evening. I'm doing pretty well. It seems the antics have already begun, so
Yes.
I'll
Yes,
just
sir.
sit back and watch.
We've got a night full of antics for you, and
Boy.
we're glad that you're here along for the ride.
Hey, I was supposed to introduce him.
You don't have to. I don't need no introductions. I just barge in. That's my style.
Well,
Go ahead,
Mr.
Sorry,
Mogan.
go on.
No, go ahead, Mr.
I
Mogan.
was gonna say all this turned into is pretty much blatantly pointing fingers at people, aka the haters. When if you're really thinking about it in context, it could be anyone at this point. I mean, we shouldn't put our thoughts into who actually did it rather than just wait till who actually who it actually is when they get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I got ran over by a car today, so you should leave me alone.
It's just like, you know, why blindly assume, oh, it's the SoK that did it. They're behind it. They're a hate group. You know, they're these vigilantes that, you know, just do nothing but hate on Phil all day. They have some sort of connection to this whole thing, and it's unbelievable. And Phil's doing the same exact thing, and people, of course, are quick to jump on that train. And it's ridiculous. I really wish that people would think for themselves rather than listen to what Phil has to say about it. I mean,
look,
he's heard his side of the story. It's now time for people to hear our side of the story.
I mean, look, you got to be logical on this. With stuff like this, you have to wait for proof. But anyways, people are going to always come up with their assumptions. Me personally, I don't care about that because at the end of the day, people will think what they want to think, whether you like it or not. The only thing I care about is the blatant accusation of indirectly being involved in of attempted fucking murder for making it. This is how you don't play. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure y'all agree with me with this. Isn't that something? That's probably the most outlandish fucking thing I've heard this year.
Right.
Yep.
It is ridiculous, and it is truly the sign of someone that's going fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, there's a number of different angles that you can attack this at. Just the assertion that we would have anything to do with this. First of all, Phil's address has been public back when he was in Connecticut. This movement did not start once he moved to Washington. I mean, this was already a deep-rooted community before he even moved to Washington. So if there was something from within our group or within our community that wanted to actually harm him, swat him, or anything like that, I don't see why it would take until now for that to happen. I don't see what was significant about this time. In my opinion, it could have just been someone that stumbled onto him or someone that's new to this scene and doesn't know the culture of this community to not endorse this type of stuff. It just doesn't, I don't see how it would add up for someone that has been around to choose now, even though, you know, all this information's been out there for some time now.
I was just about to say that his address has been out for some time now. Why now, of all things, is it happening? I mean, you really think about it, it would have happened sooner, but now, of all things, it just seems really odd. I mean, the DDoSing, the swatting, that, I don't know, that it's really odd. I'm not going to assume things here. I'm just saying it's just really odd and very fishy that this happened, especially the same week that Phil was already having issues as it is. So why make it worse by calling the cops and saying there was a murder scene going on and then having them rush to, you know, his neighborhood and, you know, like disturbing pretty much everyone's peace by doing this? That's wrong, man. It's not cool. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm sorry, but this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not the backpedaler or anything, but the really kind of funny thing about this is that his reaction is what has garnered so much attention on this. It's garnered much more attention than he would have ever gotten if he would have reacted differently or just told people that he got DDoSed or swatted alone. I mean, in fact, if he didn't react like this, he's talking about so much hate in this reaction, and this reaction itself is going to get him more hate. If he would have just explain the situation or what happened to him. In fact, he would have gotten sympathy, and the situation would have been much better.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, didn't when you hear the audio of him apparent when he got swatted, he didn't really take it that seriously. But then all of a sudden, like as soon as everything's said and done, the cops are gone. About a couple hours later, when he makes the video, all of a sudden now he's the victim of swatting. He makes it much more melodramatic than it needs to be. Considering he's right, he could have died, but at the same time he didn't. So
he's still alive and walking. I mean, he's right. I mean, he could have died on it, but then he went on this tangent about saying, the people that are making plays, I mean, they're the blame for it. He could have died because of us, shit like that. I just kind of said, it's a head scratcher. I've sat there for at least like 10 minutes scratching my head listening to that. I'm like, what is he going on about?
Speaking of which, the chat is mentioning this as well. In light of the situation, the cops made my day with just them saying, "Yeah, it's gamer shit." It's just that made me feel happy after that. I mean, it's just funny as hell.
Oh, and they came in.
Gamer shit here.
Yeah, they came in and they saw his setup and that. They're like, "Oh, this is some crazy gamer shit going on." Like,
he's just with all the fucking statues and knickknacks.
He's just doing his thing, Like, I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I like I said, in light of the situation, and definitely it's fucked up. We can all agree. Whoever did it, I'm sure he'll get caught eventually because this is pretty goddamn disgusting. And the accusations of the haters and people like that. I mean, you never know. It could be just some guy who just does it for fun. I mean, it could be a guy that doesn't really watch his videos for all we know.
Well, yeah,
he just does it for the shit of it. There's probably a lot of people out there that would think the same way. I mean, they know who he is, but they don't give a fuck about his videos. They just do it for the fun of it. But I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. But the fucking this whole trend itself is a joke, big time joke. I don't understand it. I don't know why it's a thing. I don't know why people feel the need to pull these crude pranks like this on other people. Nobody deserves that shit at all. Not even Phil standards.
Yeah, well, yeah, swatting is a very serious thing. I feel like one day someone's gonna eventually get hurt from it.
Yeah.
But, accusing people who watch his I don't plays or involved in the making or anything like that of being indirectly involved in attempted murder, that's disgusting as well. I mean, that's pathetic. I don't know, it's lowest form of a fucking human being possible is a piece of shit. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little aggressive, but I mean, come on, that's something serious. You can't accuse people that fucking like criticize you or make parody videos about you of wishing or being indirectly involved in a felony or trying to kill somebody. Get the fuck out of here. That's something I take that serious because it's bullshit, and it's something to make himself feel like to get gullible idiots and naive people to feel sorry for him so he can get attention towards himself. I can't respect something like that no matter what happened to him when you accuse people that had nothing to do with it of trying to fucking kill you. It's bullshit, plain and simple.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, really. It's just like, I mean, like, you utilize a situation like that to your advantage, really? Like, of all times you want to do that now? Like, that's the thing I was afraid of, because I knew, like, as soon as Phil was set in stone, my second thought was, crap, he's going to use this to help himself. He's going to use himself to promote his channel, to promote his Patreon, in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty obvious he was going to use that incident to cash in on some views.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
Lost my train of thought. Here's the problem also. We've got Phil, who is kind of, I'd say going all in on this, sort of making this his rally cry to vanquish us and to make us go away for good and all this other stuff. He cut a very condescending promo, I'd call it, a scathing promo about how all of us are doing nothing with our lives and we're all teenagers and we're making videos of him instead of actually going out and doing something. And he sort of did a little bit of, what's that guy's name? Shia LaBeouf or some shit like that? The Just Do It guy? Yeah. So, really putting on the theatrics for this and really trying to, get after it. And I just think that there is, somebody asked me to check a link in the chat. Okay. What is
Just do it! Sorry, just had to... Just do it!
I apologize for that sound. I dropped my mic.
Just do it! Anything. Put your mind to it. Just do it.
Nothing's impossible. You said
Nothing.
today.
You said yesterday that you'd do it today. Well, it's today.
I love that meme.
So,
that meme.
It's never gonna get old.
Yeah, like my favorite ones my favorite Shia motivational video is the one where Goku turns Super Saiyan. He's telling him just do it, and then he turns Super Saiyan himself.
Oh god. There was one that Kamasuba linked me not too long ago where it's like about friggin' weeaboos or shit. Or some shit. I don't know. It was really funny though. But yeah, I definitely think this situation really got out of hand, and mostly by both parties, both reactions. I feel like Phil could have handled this way better.
Nope, he turned it all into a big deal.
Yeah.
this is
Exactly.
This is Phil we're talking about here. You didn't think he was actually just gonna let this go, right?
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
I wish he would let
kinda
it go.
obvious that he was-
I didn't
No,
think Phil was gonna stoop this low.
I saw it coming. I mean,
Yeah,
it's some-
but I thought he would have some kind of standard.
no.
Standards.
Standards.
He didn't want to
Who
go
needs
direct
those anymore?
capture for what, 2 years?
What are those?
The only reason he ever went direct capture is because it was life or death.
Pretty much.
Yep.
He wanted to stay relevant.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna be like, he's just kind of using this, grasping at straws, trying to stay, relevant. Because look at the chart from his viewers from maybe like 2012 or even 2013. Every month, it's been going down, down, and down. I mean, and this might help a little bit, but it's just gonna make him even.
Views.
Yeah, it's going to get like short-term views, but afterwards he's going to lose even more of his fans from the way he reacts to things like this. It's just steadily getting even worse, his reactions are, I think.
Yeah, wasn't worth the trade-off.
And I think he purposely did this, though, reacted this way. He could have just been like, oh, this happened to me, and he could have, done the sympathy thing, but that's not going to get him a bunch of attention, like throwing a big fit or blaming people who have nothing to do with it. Well, now he's going to try to blow it up so it's even bigger than it really is to try to get attention. I think he purposely did that, to be honest.
I couldn't agree with it. Because you saw the live stream, he was acting all cool, then, hours later, he's in some big tirade about it. I mean, I don't care how cool you are. I don't care how much, whatever, you can maintain your composure. Emotions and raw human emotions you can see. And what I saw, he didn't take it very seriously because nothing seriously happened to him. He was fine. The cops were doing their jobs. They never put him or Leanna, anyone, in danger. They did their jobs. They were not reckless. And they were joking about it afterwards. Even Leanna was cracking a couple jokes with the cops. So he seemed pretty well. Then all of a sudden, a couple hours later, you're going to throw this huge tirade. You're going to, in my opinion, exaggerate about having dozens and dozens of people with the automatic weapons pointing guns at you. It was an acting. He was acting. He tried to put on his best Oscar-winning performance to get views, to get attention, to get sympathy from naive people to support him. That's all it was. That's all the reaction was.
I like how he try to bring up the fact that he's the king of hate all over again. Like, he did that for 5 minutes straight, and when he did that, I immediately crossed my mind that he's literally repeating what he said in 2013 during that whole Thanksgiving speech thing. He tried to use that king of hate argument, try to bring it in, make people think he's all badass, and that, you know.
You're yelling at a screen, telling people that don't like you to do something with their lives, as if you know what they are, as if not liking you automatically means they're deadbeats in life, right? Coming from the man that does raw Let's Plays for a living and refuses to do anything else, with a in-house woman that makes soap and doesn't make any profit off of it. They got the balls to tell us that we ain't doing shit with our lives.
I really. Oh, I'm sorry, Pascal.
It's not his. Sorry, I'll let you speak. I just wanted to say this. It's not his in-house woman. It's his full-time girlfriend.
Full-time.
I was really. I thought it was interesting how he gave his best impression of a motivational speaker. I think he should take like the first part of that pre-stream and start selling it on these DVDs and infomercials as like motivational speaking. I think that'd be pretty good. If he needs extra money.
He's getting there. And soon enough, he'll be living like a regular motivational speaker in a van down by the river.
The most generic fucking motivational speaker I've ever heard in my life. It was the most malicious, not even well-intended, anything. It was just generic. It was just telling people to do something with their lives. Any Joe Schmo, any 5-year-old can tell you to do something with your life and shout at a camera like a lunatic.
Yeah.
You got to make people think you're genuine. You got to actually act like you give a damn about people. You got to put your own unique perspectives on everything. And that, it wasn't. He just said generic shit. He said it in spite. He took just generic motivational speakings and just said it as in spite. That's all it was. It's terrible.
Yeah, and, again, the thing is that he wants to make this about us instead of the people that actually did this to him. Now, obviously, that might sound like a convenient way to say that we had nothing to do with it, but let's just look at this reasonably. Not once in his little rant or tirade did he go after the DDoSers or the actual people that called this in, that took the effort to DDoS him. He didn't go in on them. He spent the majority of the time talking about people that did things that aren't harmless and trying to make them seem as though they're harmful. And I think I said that incorrectly. People that were doing things that were harmless, and he's trying to make them look as though they're harmful. He's trying to he's trying to demonize people that just make content about him. And that's the bigger issue to him, because he knows that the DDoSing he's addressing. He knows that the swatting he's addressing. But the fact is that he can't find a solution to people wanting to give their criticism, their parody videos, their observations on him, and that's what he needed to solve. More so than the DDoSing, more so than the swatting. And this is what he's going to leverage as a way to do that.
I wonder how long it'll last. 2 weeks, 3 weeks? You know how fast the internet forget about some shit.
It's going to die down. It's going to die down in about a week or two. I think that there are a lot of people that do genuinely have sympathy for him because it is a serious thing that happened to him. I don't think any of us can understate that. None of us are brushing this off as something that, oh yeah, just whatever. And, but, it is a serious thing. It could have been worse. He's absolutely right when he says that. It could have been worse. There are people that died. There were people that were seriously injured because of this.
I had sympathy for him until he went to the dying part.
And
yeah, but it could have. I could walk outside and almost get hit by a car. But the thing is, no matter what happens to you in life, a reaction like that is not justified. No matter what you go through in life.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. You can have a very bad life. You can have a very bad incident happen to you. But to take it out on people that had nothing to do with you and to focus all your anger and hate on them and try to make them seem like they were committing felonies and we were the ones that were committing crimes instead of the people that actually did this. Right. Instead of waiting for proof, actual fucking proof that can prove who done this, okay? You try to blame it or try to indirectly say that it was a group of people like us or people in our community without any fucking proof and try to point the blame at us with a felony, a serious crime.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what happened to you. It doesn't make it right. And I lose all sympathy when that happens.
Right.
How you react to it is just as important as what happened.
And, interestingly enough, not just specifically the Sons of Kojima, the anti-DSP community in general, I've actually had my name dropped a few times in this. There's one certain individual that we always say hi to around this time of the podcast. He was very adamant that, quote, me and my cronies were behind this and that we better not try this again. And then after that, somebody just sent me a quote from him. Let me read this and I'll actually address it. I figured this would be a good way to address it. Let me grab the actual quote for you guys. I literally just got tweeted it earlier, let's say about 10 minutes ago. Give me just a second, sorry. We're live, so. Such as live broadcasting. Shit, why can I not find it now? Somebody fill time for me, please.
So what's the deal with airline food?
What's the deal with airline food?
It's disgusting.
Let's just beat up on Pascal like we normally do.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, that works.
Pascal is worst girl.
Here is
First
the
of all, how
actual-
dare you?
Wait,
God
wait.
damn it. Shh. Save it for later.
All right, here we go. Here's Phil from earlier today. Yeah, notice how Fred Fucks, who says he had nothing to do with it and is only a critic, was just by coincidence illegally recording my stream and rushes, in all caps, a video clip out of the swatting. But keep in mind, he's just a critic. He's just trying to help me by getting me killed for views, apparently. Kless, which is one of his what?
No, nothing.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Yeah, continue.
Kless, who is one of his longtime contributors, says, Phil, you can easily go back in YouTube streams, which is exactly what I did, but more on that in a second. Phil responds, and he also said, Kless also says, it's not like Twitch where you can't rewind. And Darkside Phil directly addresses Kless, and he illegally recorded my content and rushed it out for views. Now, let me address both of these very quickly. I found out about this just like everybody else did on Twitter. There was a tweet that was from like someone that none of us heard before. They had like an egg as their profile picture. Got retweeted by a couple people. So I saw this and I said, oh shit. So I was in this group call with some of the Sons of Kojima members. We were all like, what the hell is going on? I went to his Batman stream and I said, let me see if I can go back and see where this happened. I looked in the, you scan through, you see little thumbnails of little preview of what's going on. I found, a stagnant screen, went back a little bit further, and I found it. Now, when I first watched it, I said, this is very hard to listen to. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter were confused about what happened. A lot of people were joking about it. A lot of people were, saying this didn't happen, this and this and that. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to release the video with better audio, which is what I did. I increased the audio specifically around parts where it was very distant. I didn't have it like increased all the way across so that, Phil's blowing out your eardrums. I did it very carefully, and I put it out for the sake of information. You don't know how many people after watching that video went on there and said, okay, now I understand that this is serious. I saw that a lot of people were taking this as something that wasn't serious, that this is some big conspiracy, stuff like that. And for the sake of people to understand the situation, I wanted to put the video out. Now, to say that I was motivated by views or anything like that, my channel is not monetized. The Sons of Kojima channel is not monetized. Any of our videos that has ever had ads on it have been put on by a third party. We can prove that, and we have before. We have no motivation by views. What does it matter? If I get 100,000 views on a channel that's not monetized and I have no plans to monetize, what does that do for me? I don't have any sort of grand plan or anything like that to monetize a channel that's about Phil. That's a side channel of mine, a side project of mine. I don't have any aspirations of turning Fred Fucks into some fucking, character that generates revenue or any of that other stuff. That was, specifically for I put it in the description. It's for, the purpose of information. People can look at it. They can see what actually happened. They can hear it better. They can understand that this wasn't some elaborate hoax like I was seeing on the internet. So that clears up why I put the video out. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. As far as, me wanting him dead or anything like that, again, all of us in the Sons of Kojima have really, fostered this philosophy to not encourage this, to not promote it, and of course, not to participate in it. As a matter of fact, I don't think the majority of us even know how to DDoS somebody or would know how to protect ourselves to call in, to actually get this call in to SWAT somebody. So, I mean, of course there's going to be blame, and I guess, as this title that I have that really means nothing, the president of Sons of Kojima, whatever, I guess that makes me a target to receive some sort of blame for this. But, our philosophy is we're going to be open, we're going to be honest, we're going to tell our side of the story. We're not going to sugarcoat anything. We're not going to hide anything. We've never done that before. We have nothing to worry about. None of us have anything to do with this. And, if they find whoever did it and we find out that it had something to do with our community, we're going to disassociate with them. It's pretty straightforward. We're not going to have somebody who is doing this that is going to represent us as a group. That's not what we're interested in. And this directly goes against everything that we believe in for somebody to go out and do something like this.
And I think what some people forget sometimes, Fred, is that the Sons of Kojima is not some militant group that is 100% focused, only get together to quote unquote take down Phil or anything. At the end of the day, we're friends. I mean, we talk, we have hobbies, we have families, we have aspirations. It's not just a united militant goal of taking someone down. No, we're actual friends. You know what I mean? We talk about a whole bunch of other stuff, play games and all that shit. And I think sometimes people forget that.
Right. I mean, this is not a business relationship. This podcast is full of people that we talk to all the time, our friends, Again, we don't monetize anything. This is all for fun. This is all for, having a good time with the community. We just so happen to be able to do a successful charity drive. That's the only revenue that we've ever generated, and that was towards that charity. Every dime went to that. So, again, it's getting turned into something else. Oh yeah, they want views off of this, and they're doing this, and they knew about it, and they planned it, and all that kind of stuff. And the only thing we can do is sit back and we can wait to see what happens. We'll maintain our innocence, but we're not going to push our innocence so hard that people are going to think that we had something to do with it. I mean, that's all we need to do is just say that we didn't have nothing to do with it. We don't approve of it. And everything else will happen as it does. I mean, there's really nothing else on our part that we can do. We decided we're going to take this time on the podcast, talk about it, get some people in to get their view on it. And, I mean, that's the extent of it.
And if you look in perspective for a minute there, your video did help people, realize that, wow, this was actually serious.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be honest here. He's not an honest person. I mean, your video actually benefited him to make him out not to be a liar, which he normally is. Regarding everything else, it's kind of insulting that he would actually do this to you, because he did help, because you, in some way, shape, or form, you did technically help him. So
yeah, I mean, people were. I mean, I'm sure somebody else might have put the video up at some point. I believe there's a lot of people that are doing that. They put up videos right when they happen, but you wouldn't believe how many of Phil's fans went on there and were saying, if you look at the comment section, yeah, there's some BS and fighting and stuff like that, but there's a lot of man, I didn't realize how serious this was. Man, this is terrible. I can't believe this. This is too far. Stuff like that. And originally, I was actually thinking about maybe I should disable comments because it's just going to be a big argument and all that other stuff. But I decided, just let it go. Let people, have the freedom of speech on there, and let people say what they need to. I mean, there's nothing that we can do just by virtue of existing. There's nothing we can do so that people will say All right, so that people won't say that we had something to do with it. I mean, that's just common sense. People are going to say it's going to be the most visible people associated with disliking Phil.
Nothing
Which
we could
normally
do.
isn't the case either. It's normally not the case. Like, if any of us had anything to do with it, why now? Why all of a sudden now would we do it? Why didn't we just do it a year ago when it first started and just be done with it?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't make any sense.
I mean, to ruin everything that we've accomplished the past couple months with this charity drive with something stupid like this, it's just not logical.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
God. I mean, there should be more to say, but there isn't, because fuck him. He tried to make it out to yeah, fuck him. He made it out to something more than it needed to be, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Originally, we were, obviously very sympathetic towards him, and a lot of us were very happy that he did the right thing and said that it wasn't us that did it. But then instead, now he's saying that we're responsible by proxy, and then of course some of his very loyal fans are saying that we're directly guilty of doing it. Oh well. I think you said it very well, Caesar. There's really nothing else to say. If there are any other final comments, any closing comments that anybody has to say about this topic, feel free, and then we'll move on to the. Go ahead, Mr. Sir.
Well, I did a freaking video about this last night, obviously, and it's super long and it's in processing hell. But this what is it called, swatting? This shit used to happen to me and people in my neighborhood when I was a kid in the 90s. Of course, it wasn't called swatting. It was just calling the police on somebody and being an asshole. But I don't really condone doing real life stuff to people because of shit on the internet. You know, if you're mad about a YouTube video, you could be mad about a YouTube video on the internet, but don't do something to do in real life. That's a little silly in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But the part that just flat out pissed me off was the I could have died part, and you enabled people to want to kill me because you made a video, or you made a few videos, or you made a few Twitter comments, or you made a parody account of me. That's just ridiculous. And he really is just going full Sarkeesian mode.
Absolutely.
Full Sarkeesian mode.
Great comparison.
Everyone is out to get me. Everyone hates me. Please like me because other people hate me and they don't have a reason to hate me. That's what he's trying to do. And it's nonsense. And he says he says the hate started in 2012. Then he says it got worse when he moved and all of that. People didn't like this dude since 2010, maybe even 2009.
Definitely 2009.
His videos about him from way back then. But those videos didn't fuck with his money, so he didn't care. When he started to lose money, then he started to care. And now he's losing more money, which is why he got a Patreon, and now he cares even more. But he doesn't even want to fight his haters on his own. He wants to get his little fans to do it, which is even more ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that call to arms.
It's like those people not getting paid. You want them to waste their time to go on the internet and find people and start arguments with them, pretty much, because that's all going to happen. Somebody come under my video saying, Phil almost died because of you. That's just going to start a fucking argument. Right. And he want his fans to make their nerves bad going on the internet, starting arguments with random people. He can't even defend himself. He wants other people to defend him.
I'm sorry, but what is even that going to accomplish? There's nothing really that accomplishing. Nothing.
Just get some people to rally behind him for a couple of weeks, and then they'll watch his other videos or watch his little Let's Plays, and they'll say, this dude is fucking garbage. I'm not going to support him. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
I mean, seriously, if you take anybody without any bias or a little bias involved, and you tell them, okay, look at this is how you don't play video. We're parodying somebody, laughing at their mistakes in the video game. Well, you see that was one of the reasons why this man almost died. Quote unquote almost died. He was really fine. The cops did their fucking jobs. They weren't reckless. They weren't, they didn't do any police brutality. He was never in any fucking danger. They called on a megaphone for him to come out, for fuck's sakes. But anyways, this is how you don't play video could be a sole or an indirect reason why how someone could die, that someone could die because of it. Any rational person, I don't care what side you're on, I don't care what you think about me, the group, anybody. Any rational person is going to look at you like you're fucking crazy and you truly need to go to a mental home. A video, a parody. How many YouTubers? I've had fucking videos made about me laughing at me. I mean, making fun of me. And whether in a malicious or a non-malicious way. I'm not going to sit there if someone fucking takes a knife and tries cutting my head off saying that that video was involved directly or indirectly in trying to fucking kill me. It's ridiculous. It makes no fucking sense. How can people believe this? How can people above the age of 8 believe this shit? I refuse to believe that anyone really fucking believes that if This Is How You Don't Play or a DSP tries it or one of these podcasts is a reason why, or indirectly or directly why that swatting incident happened. None of us pulled that trigger. None of us made that call. You blame the person that did it, because it's a cheap cop out to blame people that don't like you for something that someone did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should show my niece and my brother see This Is How You Don't Play videos all the time. They don't know anything about DSP or anything about Let's Plays. I should show them the video and say, oh man, this dude almost died because of this, and see what their response is.
I was going to say that he claims he could have been killed. If your immediate reaction is to go on a video begging for sympathy and begging for people to smear other people because he thinks they have something to do with it, or because more so that he blames them making parodies about him to do it, no, you're a fucking asshole. I'm sorry. Like, I had some sympathy, but now it's all gone now. Phil, you're an asshole. I'm sorry that this happened to you, but now just what you're doing, you're taking it all out of proportion, so I'm sorry.
I laughed my ass off when he called us subhuman. Man, what was with the subhuman shit? Is this the 1800s? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. If you were ever involved in it, This Is How You Don't Play. If you ever made a clone account on me, and I quote DSP on Twitter, good job, but you almost got me killed. Fuck out of here with your bullshit. You know what you need to do? You need to kill that greasy hair with some shampoo.
What about that death face account he made? Doesn't that count as well?
Yeah. I guess he's responsible for it too, because that death face shit.
Like, he made a parody account of himself, so where's that come into play?
He almost committed internet suicide.
I wonder if, like, that's... I mean, overall, fuck him. Like, that's all you really need to say. I mean, I don't mean to like, sound like a broken record, but that's pretty much it. Fuck him.
He's
a bit...
Yeah, seriously. I don't give a shit anything at this point. I really just... You know what, honestly? I want to see this happen again. I want to see him fall down the stairs this time, and then tweet about it.
I fell down the stairs. It's because of those fucking haters. I was looking at tweets and YouTube comments.
That's how it's gonna happen.
They distracted me. I fell down the fucking stairs. Fuck you.
I was looking at my phone. It's because of my gout. I fell. I had a pain in my foot, and then all of a sudden I just fell over. Fuck those haters.
I overcooked my food. It's the haters' fault.
I mean, no, the thing is, whatever stress he's going through in his life, man, that is your lifestyle. Everyone deals with shit every day. We all got our own problems. We all struggling's a part of life. It's just the way life is. You're gonna struggle. But to sit there and to blame people who don't like you or people that may criticize you because of what you do on YouTube for your own struggles is bullshit. That is a part of your own fucking lifestyle. Your gout, you're fucking wanting to get a house and put yourself in debt. That's not my problem. Just like my financial issues aren't your fucking problem, and I sure as fuck ain't gonna blame you. So what you need to do is you need to lay off the gin, and you need to find, coming from somebody that likes the fucking alcohol himself, you need to find a smart, reliable, good way of controlling your anger. Because you get shit like that when you don't know how to control your anger. You get hour rant videos like that make no fucking sense.
He could have deleted the first 40 minutes and uploaded the last 20 minutes, and that would have pretty much been him getting his point across, or at least the point he wanted to get across, which is pretty much, if you hate on me, fuck you, and you don't have the right to hate on me because I almost died. That's all he really wanted to say. Everything else is just him explaining what happened and telling his life story. I grew up in Connecticut, moved across the country,
the mean
and people were really mad about it. Well, yes, we were mad because you moved across the country and put yourself in debt. I'm really jealous about that. I wish I could be in debt just like you, Phil.
Yeah, I own 2 mortgages as well.
And have a girlfriend that sells soap.
Yep. So, fuck him.
Then I like the part where he said he won't say someone's name, and then he says that's bullshit name because he said it in a positive light. You still said somebody's name. You said you wouldn't say somebody's name.
Oh yeah,
But whatever.
he sure loves Das, a guy that has a bigger YouTube channel than him, a guy that gives him money, and a guy that will literally sugarcoat every single thing and write him a novel. Go out of his way. This guy goes out of his way to try to help Phil with actual advice from someone who has a bigger channel than him.
And does he ever follow through with this information?
No.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
No,
He gives me constructive criticism. That's positive.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes Dawes is just wasting his time with Phil.
He is. It's always a waste of time
so
to try
many
to give him
other
criticism.
Well, we could just start the Pascal Slanderthon 2.0. We could just do that.
Nah.
I'm for it.
Slendermania.
I'm all for it.
This is not a necessity. Fuck. It's not a necessity.
All right, so let's start with his pronunciation of necessity.
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 You know what, Pascal? Cherry is a better girl than Pascal.
Go fucking die,
How about
piece
that?
of shit.
Yeah.
I hope you die in hell and
Yeah.
burn.
You just say?
I'm gonna school Pascal here real hard. I mean, I'm just gonna totally get him good. You know what, Pascal? You are mildly annoying sometimes.
I
Oh,
I
shit.
agree with that.
You're gonna school him so hard that his grades are gonna drop.
Slander City.
Oh, yeah. I just won Slandermania right here.
No, we'll wait.
I
wanna
love you,
savor
Pascal.
it.
I know.
Yeah, we all love you.
I want to savor
Kind
it
of.
when I do it, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
You'll be fine.
All right, perfect. So that seems like a good segue. We will segue into a couple of our other topics. We've got a number of viewer submitted topics from last week that we still didn't get to in total. But one thing that a number of us are somewhat aggravated about, I called it the hashtag Scamu3, but Shenmue 3, the latest development is that they want not just 5 million for an open world game, they want 10 million from their Kickstarters to really get this thing going. And they say that right towards the end, as though they need this last minute hurrah. It might be a little bit of a foot in the door tactic, because after people found out the extent that Sony was going to be involved here and that they were going to be giving, the campaign almost completely stalled out. I think they're more looking towards the 5 million. I think by putting out this 10 million and saying that this is a necessity for the best possible experience we can give you, I think that this is a bit of a, like I said, foot in the door technique to actually get the 5 million, which is what they wanted. Well, what do you guys think? Gouging? Is this necessary? Your guys' thoughts on Shenmue 3 being increased, I guess, for their desire of cash influx up front.
Can I begin?
Online tactics.
Can I begin? The only thing I'm going to say is you give an inch, you take a mile. And that's pretty much the case here. Overall, I mean, if they really needed that, they should have just announced that to begin with instead of going with 2 million. It just seems rather a dirty tactic for them to just go with that. And you see more. It just seems much more deceptive to your fans who have been waiting for this for so long, like Loophole, where I wish he was here for it because I think he would have went off on it, honestly. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate because like you're gonna lose a lot of trust in your fans, and they're not gonna put up with this bullshit.
Well, yeah, people are gonna drop out.
Yeah, and people might drop out now. Like,
yeah,
just
and one thing that bothers me is that Sony's a pretty a pretty big company. So why don't they put in money to develop the game?
Sony needs a Patreon account.
Well,
As long as they don't
what
pull a
else-
broken age, they'll be all right.
What else are they adding in with their stretch goals anyway?
Well, they're being very vague, as a matter of fact. The
Is it
5
a-
million is for the perspective system, which I'm to understand. They, like I said, they haven't really explained it at all. They just keep using phrases like it's going to be the best experience. It's going to be more in depth. But they referred to the $5 million goal as a perspective system. So I think it's a first-person perspective, if I'm not mistaken. The 10 million is to make it more of an open world, to increase the size and scope of the maps.
That's a lot of money.
Still, Bloodstained then got 3 million and it added in a ton of content.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
How much did the
something's
Ouya
just
get?
not adding up.
How much did the Ouya get on Kickstarter?
Too much because it still exists.
I need to look that up. It seems like they want Ouya amounts of money to make one video game. I mean, if it costs $10 million to make an open world game, then I guess it costs $10 million. But do a lot of people want Shenmue 3 to be open world? It's already a lot of open world games.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that it obviously does cost much more. What this just seems is like, I've seen people say, "Oh, this is just a way for them to gauge interest. This is a way for them to see how many people want this game." Yada yada yada. But I mean, you can do that by announcing it, and you know what they're essentially asking people to do is pre-order the game and pay for it up front 2.5 years ahead of time. This is really just Sony had no confidence in us to actually make this game and for people to actually buy it and on its own merit. So we needed to fund it up front because they didn't want to give us any money up front, which is the way that it was perceived. But unfortunately, information came out to sort of detail Sony's involvement, and they are going to be funding it significantly more than people understood. And that's, a big reason why the campaign almost exclusively stalled out just because of that.
Well, all right, do you guys want my opinion on this?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I think the way they gone about this whole Kickstarter, the starting at 2 million, if I'm correct, if that's how it is, I think it's very dishonest, disingenuous. I think that's going to disappoint a lot of the longtime fans of the series. And I think if they would have just started out at 10 million or whatever their goal is, I think people would have forked over the money for whatever amount they actually wanted, instead of, really using dirty tactics like that and just sticking their foot in the door with 2 million and raising it up. It's very disingenuous.
I agree. So, any other thoughts on Shenmue 3 before we move on to some viewer submitted topics?
Nope.
No.
It's a dick
think I've said
move.
mine.
No.
Or do
Nope.
you mean Alice submitted topics?
Well, we didn't want to reveal the curtain like that. Wow. There are a number here that are not from Alice. So I think this one would be relevant. The Steam sale. What did
curtain?
you guys get from the Steam sale recently? Nothing.
Too
Perfect.
many, too many games.
Nothing.
I got
Way
two
too
games
many
because I'm a broke motherfucker.
Amen.
I'm telling you, brother, I can't even buy myself a fucking dollar menu at McDonald's after I gotta pay all the bullshit. I hate my life. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'm broke.
Oh.
Perfect.
But I'm
Where will
not
we take
asking for
people
any
on
money.
dates?
What?
Like, where will we take people on dates, though?
Jay doesn't go on dates. He just
I
walks in
don't.
the
I
background.
don't. We go walk in the park. It's cheap and it's effective. Except for the ones with the fucking hot dog machine, because especially in New York, the motherfuckers want to charge you $5 for a hot dog and a small soda. I mean, thanks for killing the mood.
That's New York, though.
Good. This is why I don't live there.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't really have any games, so.
Well, I would say something that we bought, not exactly from the Steam sale, but what you're watching right now me, Pascal, Che, and Mr. Moogle have been playing Borderlands, in this instance, Borderlands 2, based on the Humble Bundle. Now, they released a Humble Bundle where you can get Borderlands 1, the majority of the DLC minus Claptrap Revolution, which is just one of the 4. So 3 of the 4 DLCs, the vanilla game, for as little as $1. You know, the name your own price. The next tier up, the average one, which at the time where we bought it was approximately $3.50. You get Borderlands 2, a number of the DLC for Borderlands 2, and then you get a coupon code for what was it? The pre-sequel, 75% off the pre-sequel. Then finally, for the $15 tier, you get the season pass for Borderlands 2, yada, yada, yada. Essentially, if you buy the Humble Bundle, you get Borderlands 1, 2, all the DLC, and a nice code off of Borderlands pre-sequel. So that's what we've been doing. It's been a lot of fun. I think that, you know, for me, being the first time that I played Borderlands, I heard a lot about it. I wanted to play it, but I've been busy. So I think this is the perfect way to play it. Some of your good friends that you've got chemistry with. We're all playing different classes, so we're all doing something different. And, man, it's just a lot of fun. And especially on the PC, it's a really good experience playing with the controller still, though, obviously, because my keyboard and mouse is not my thing. But yeah, man, I think that was the steal for me as far as any kind of sales recently. And I definitely recommend the Borderlands Humble Bundle if you don't have any of those games or if you have a couple of them.
Do it.
Do it.
Just fucking do it. Just say,
it's a friggin' blast.
Do it.
It's a blast.
Just do it.
Fun time.
And for fuck's sakes, walks in the park are cheap, simple, and effective. Don't fall into the Hollywood agenda of fucking going on $1,000 date.
Hollywood agenda.
Take a lesson, Shay. Walks in the park. And not at night, though. There's too many crazy motherfuckers out there. Do it at like 2 p.m.
Like you.
No, I'm not. Look, I am a sane, normal fucking guy. I'm just a little paranoid. That's all.
A little.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
More like delusional.
Next relevant gaming topic that we have is Batman. Now, Batman was originally released multi-platform, of course, one of them being the accursed PC, according to game developers. But unfortunately, because the performance was so bad that you were not even able to get 60 frames per second consistently at 1080p on a Titan X, that is the top graphics card that is available on the consumer end. That's 12 gigabytes of RAM, over I think 1.1 gigahertz of processing power if you get down to it, a shit ton of CUDA cores, yada yada yada. One of the most advanced graphics cards that's on the market right now. $1,000, you could not even get 60 frames per second at 1080p when these cards are designed to play at 1440p and up to 4K. Inexcusably bad. This was a port that was handed over to a what is the name of it? Iron Galaxy. And they performed fuck-uppery at its finest. They demolished this game. It is inexplicably bad. And after a number of unfavorable reviews and a lot of negativity, they actually yanked it off of digital stores, off the shelves. You are not able to buy the game if you want to. I don't know why you would want to, but at this moment, you're not able to buy it. Any thoughts on the PC version or broadly on Batman in general if you've had experiences on it on consoles?
I'm the goddamn Batman.
Yeah, it looks like a fun game on the consoles. I mean, but I feel bad for the people that aren't able to play it on the sizzle.
Well, yeah.
I think that if they let WB Games or Rocksteady handle the port itself rather than giving it to another developer or another publisher, however you want to put it, I don't even care. I really think the game would have came out better, but capping it at 30 frames per second and optimizing it poorly like that's very distasteful.
Yeah, if the game wasn't even ready on PC, why did they release it? They should have just delayed it and released a statement saying that they need to fix all the bugs.
Yeah.
mean, that's essentially what they're doing now. They put it out for sale. They're taking it back, and they're essentially delaying it after it was released.
Yeah, but it's a little too late now.
No, of course. I mean, that was completely irresponsible. I don't know if they... This is the thing. I mean, you know, people in the PC market are very tech savvy, obviously. A lot of people built their own PCs. A lot of people are aware if they're getting a subpar product. And for them to try to pull something on, you know, the PC crowd doesn't really make sense to me. I think that it's... Man, for me, I think it's one of the dumbest things that you can do is to try to pull that on people, gamers, not just gamers, but a segment of the gaming community that is very much in the know and very much, you know, the PC gamers, they want specific resolutions, they want specific frame rates, they want to be able to tinker everything and, you know, mess with the textures and mess with the lighting and so much stuff like that. I don't see how you can pull something on them. It just goes to my theory that they want to make PC gaming a lesser experience because they know that it's almost guaranteed that if you buy on console, you're going to actually purchase the game. Whereas on PC, you can pirate it easier. And it's almost as though they make games with the notion that you are going to pirate it. So here's your consequence for pirating it, a lesser product.
Yeah, that's the problem. You can't pull the wool over PC gamers.
Well,
it's just not possible.
Well, yeah, it's 2015 and PC gamers are still being treated like second-class citizens.
I'm sorry, PC Master Race. But aside from that, yeah, you are right.
It's ridiculous.
I refuse to buy a fucked up port like that.
Like, the other games have been handled quite well, but of course it just happened to be Arkham Knight that's fucked up of all things because the developer can't optimize the game properly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Isn't it a bit hard? I'm sorry.
No. I was going to ask if you were going to say something. Go on.
Oh, I was thinking maybe is it possible that it's just harder to make a PC game in the same let's say like a release date or the same time span as a console game, because every console out there is the same spec, same hardware. But with PCs, you have a bunch of hundreds, thousands of different builds, different rigs, different chips, pretty much different everything. It's a lot harder to build a PC game that works on good PCs, slow PCs, and you know, like that may have been why they capped it off. Who knows? But it seems like that might contribute to it since they had to release it both at the same time, and it seems to take longer to create the PC versions or the PC ports that are actually decent because they have to run it on thousands of different computers or setups, you know?
Well, I mean, that's exactly the reason why they shouldn't be capping it off. You know, the reason why PC gaming can exist in this way is because people have access to, you know, tweak the settings, different stuff like that. They create a base game, and then all of these different things can be tailored back or upscaled based on how much processing power you have in your GPU, CPU, and so on. So if someone is able to run it at 60 frames per second, they have to go mess around in the game files to actually change a value to allow it to go higher than 60 frames per second. I think that this, to be honest with you, if someone has the processing power to do it 60 frames per second, they want to anyway, and they know how to. So to cap it, it seems like something more tailored towards maybe a casual PC user that's not going to be tinkering around, you know? But I do understand your point to there being so many different configurations, but that's why with PC games specifically, there's so many different things that you can turn up or down to fit those different setups. So that's the big difference there. You know, if they put out one specific game and then expected that to run however it'll run on every single configuration, then there would be some problems. But because there's so many different sliders, because a lot of graphics cards manufacturers have different drivers to optimize it. All right, so you've got a 770, so we're going to turn down the anti-aliasing for this specific game. You know, they create a lot of profiles for different games based on performance. So at least now in the modern age, and especially now that the developers and the actual manufacturers of GPUs and stuff like that, like NVIDIA, they collaborate a lot more, and they can, sort of tailor an experience that's a little bit better for a wider range of configurations. So that's my take, at least. That's how I see it. So we'll move on to our next topic. Viewer submitted, of course. Let's see. I just lost my place. All right. The guy who tried to pay for his Fallout 4 with bottle caps.
It was me.
And they accepted it.
He didn't try. He did.
Yep, they just accepted it. It's for the pre-order for his Fallout 4.
Did they say which console it is?
He wanted on Steam. That's what the original thing was. He wanted it on PC, so most likely
nice.
to be on PC.
Well,
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you even pay with bottle caps?
You just send it.
He had 2,000 plus bottle caps that he's got from like beer bottles and soda bottles and shit, and he put them in the box and shipped them off. Shipping was probably fucking ridiculous though, with how much fucking heavy this box
probably
was,
more
man.
than the actual game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude. I don't know, but I mean that shows how diehard the fans of Fallout are. So.
That's a lot of beer he drank.
Also, he said no one else fucking do this. He was the first one. Fuck off.
I could imagine. That would fucking suck. Tons of people sending them bottle caps in their office smelling like stale beer. Oh my god, that'd be awful. No one else do this, please. Just this. This is for PR.
Yeah, they're fucked now.
Free beer?
They set the precedent.
No, not beer, just the bottle caps. You gonna suck on the bottle caps? You gonna suck?
Fuck out of here! Why don't you give some free beer or something?
Is this fuck? All right, so in Fallout you pay with beer. You just take a
I
bottle.
thought you meant like the development. They had a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's got a whole bunch of fucking bottle caps that are heavy as shit and fucking reeks of beer.
Cool. Fuck it.
If I can just suck the residue off the bottle cap shade.
Hey, whatever you got to do to get fucking drunk in the wasteland, all right? Like, if I'm in the fucking wasteland and godforsaken fucking place, I'm getting high one way or another. I'm just being honest with y'all.
You take jet.
Yeah, I take whatever the fuck I am to be high.
You would be addicted though, just so you know. You'd
Cool.
probably be.
If I'm in a fucking
cool.
wasteland with radiated water that I could die in the next 24 hours, like nothing, I'm gonna be fucking high when I die. It's not like now, okay? It's not like I'm in a normal fucking world where I gotta function, where I gotta be around people, where I gotta work. If I'm in a fucking desolate wasteland, I'm getting fucked up 24/7 no matter what.
All right.
I'd rather have skooma.
Thank you. Someone knows what I'm talking about. Listen, the philosophy of living in a fucked up, desolate wasteland where God knows it's probably going to be hot as fuck and there's no air conditioning because there's no goddamn electricity. You need to be high on something.
I'm going to shoot myself. I'm not going to live like that.
You motherfucker. No. You're rolling with my
No.
You're not killing yourself.
You're rolling with Caesar's Legion.
No, thank you. I'm out.
You fucking jackass. Well, you know what? I'm gonna loot your fucking dead body. How about that?
Oh yeah, we're gonna take my fucking underpants, you fucking weirdo.
No, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take your fucking hair because it's hard as shit because you don't wash it and I'll throw it at enemies.
Take his shoes.
I do wash it very regularly.
Your clown fucking shoes.
I'm
gonna
take
take
the shoes.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your fucking goddamn inflated fucking Jordans and shit and throw it at somebody.
Yeah, you can't even fit a size 13, you fucking man.
I don't give. You need to get yourself some Timbs like a normal human being.
I don't know, man. I don't know many.
But then his feet won't fit.
How can you have polo but no fucking Timberland boots? What the hell kind of crime against humanity is that? I'm going to the Geneva Convention.
Timberland boots?
Because they're fucking great. Timberland boots are amazing. You could wear them at any fucking time, and it looks fine.
Why would you wear them during the summer?
Who gives a
Summer.
fuck? Why would you wear
I
anything
do.
during the summer? It's hot as hell
Sweaty,
during the
sticky
summer.
ass feet during the summer.
By the
You
way,
hey, listen, you motherfucker. In some places, it's so fucking hot. You sweat during any fucking thing. So
You wear your
don't take
Tim's
that out on
socks,
Timberland
Jay, is that why you
boots.
fucking cool down?
Wash your fucking socks and your
fucking
feet
weirdo.
won't sweat.
You don't wear socks.
Wash your socks,
You wear your
bitch.
fucking Tim's with no socks, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, I know. Fucking listen. Because the reason why my feet don't sweat is because I wash my fucking socks. Wash your goddamn socks, and you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, look at
Yourself-
that. Look at that. Timberland sucks. There you go.
Fuck, we're going to the Geneva Convention for that because no. You're lucky I'm not dictator, or you would have been hanged for treason for making fun of Timberland boots. They saved my fucking life.
Look, Vans are better. Chucks are better. Jordans are better.
Fuck Vans. I burn Vans.
Converse Master Race.
You're gonna wear Vans. You're gonna kick flip an ollie and wear a tight ass pink shirt while you're at it.
just a friendly reminder: this episode of the Sons of Kojima podcast is brought to you by Timberland boots. Timberland, nature needs heroes.
Exactly.
With the Earth Keepers 2.0 boots, every boot is constructed with 50% recycled PET and 100% PCT laces.
Earthkeeper, what are you, a fucking airbender? What the hell is Timberland boots? I'm not talking about manipulating the elements and shooting them at people. I'm talking about Timberland boots. We're keeping it simple to the point. Blake, wash fucking socks.
When it comes to boots, I'd also rather have polo boots. Polo boots are better.
Polo boots.
Yeah.
Polo boots. Why don't you get yourself some fucking Uggs, you jackass?
You ever seen polo boots before, Jay?
Fuck polo boots. It's
Stay
all
out of your
about
price range there, buddy. I'm gonna hit you right into poverty.
going crazy. I need some jets.
Wow.
Oh my god. I'm scared now.
Dude, this is
scared.
Conversation.
And you know what?
Hey Jay, what are your thoughts on jujitsu?
I don't even want to talk.
Let's get the boots done and then we'll do the jujitsu. As a matter of fact, Jay, I swear to God, this is a legitimate story. All right. So, in this jujitsu club, one guy showed up, right? Street clothes. He was wearing Timberland boots, and he wanted to roll. And our instructor was like, "Whatever, fuck it. If he wants to roll, that's fine. We're just chilling. We're just having a casual day today." And he got matched up with a couple people, including myself. And he refused to take the Timberland boots off. I promise you that this is true. And I heel hooked his ass, no problem.
Oh, so this is a bragging story, huh?
No, just wanted to tell you. I just wanted to tell you that wearing Timberland boots makes you susceptible to heel hooking.
He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He could have been wearing some bullshit fucking Metro bullshit fucking Vans.
Vans?
He could have been wearing any fucking shoes and not know if he knew what he was doing and he was better than you, he would have fucking broke your arm.
Oh.
It's all about skill. Don't blame the fucking boots on somebody that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. The Tims were not at fault here.
The Tims were not at fault. It was
Let's
not
go
the
blaming
shoe's
the
fault.
Tims for some jackass lack of skill.
Let me tell you the best shoe ever. Let me tell you the best shoe ever real quick. The Air Jordan 6. There you go. Best shoe of all time. End of discussion.
No.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Hold on.
Uh-oh. The sneakerheads?
Converse Chuck Taylor's.
No. Those are probably the most iconic of all time, but best shoe of all time, Air Jordan 6.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
best shoes of all time, the Adidas T-Mac 2s.
You shut your fucking mouth.
Sounds like a fucking robot.
No, they're decent. They're decent, but no, Chucks.
T-Mac 2s look like something you're gonna fucking wear like to a goddamn Olympic event.
Oh, I'll tell you what's going to be an Olympic event. Slendermania, Blake.
Oh no. Not again.
Let me tell you what. If you had a pair of T-Mac 2s, maybe you'd be able to walk your ass down to Pound Town without actually becoming a victim of it. But I will tell you something, Mr. Blake. I wish you the very best with your, what would you say now, Chuck Taylors? Your Jordan 6s?
I wear Jordan 6s. That's my favorite shoe of all time right
Jordan
there.
6s.
Y'all
What's so great about them?
The design, the comfort, the quality.
The comfort.
Yeah, they're very comfortable shoes. They're probably the most comfortable basketball shoes I have ever wore.
Have you ever worn a pair of T-Mac 2s?
No, because I don't want to look like a goddamn Olympic runner. Like I'm not from Africa. I'm not like the African running team. Like now, when I say that, they do look very. I don't know how to explain it.
God damn it, Blake. What the fuck?
No, but they do look very.
I'm done.
I just can't.
Yeah. I'm
All right, so that is the last appearance of Mr. Blake on this podcast.
There you go.
You fucking killed the show.
Just
I
so the
hope you're
Sons of
happy.
Kojima, just about to say the thoughts expressed here by people do not reflect necessarily everyone at the Sons of Kojima or the group as a
We've
whole.
got 2 pipe bombs here with Caesar and Blake, so
I would like to go on record and say that I am the worst person in history. I fully accept that.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. May God have mercy on your soul, Mr. Blake.
He's
Anyway,
Sudoku.
exactly. Moving on. We'll get down to some more slander if need be. Is Pascal here by any chance?
Yeah. Oh no, he dropped out.
Ah, man.
Son of a bean.
Well, there goes all the slander.
Oh.
I was
Damn,
actually
he's
gonna ask him
slightly
what
annoying.
Oh.
Slightly.
I was actually gonna ask him what his favorite type of shoes were, and then I was gonna slender him for it.
Let's guess what kind of shoes he wears. I would guess
Walmart
he wears
brand.
like some Birkenstocks.
New Balance.
Probably
Flip
boots.
flops.
I bet you he wears sandals with socks.
Nike.
He wears Walmart
Wooden
brand.
clogs.
Potato
Walmart
sacks.
Walmart brand. Target brand.
No, he probably goes barefoot.
Probably.
I have 3. No,
And
4
that's what I
sneakers.
do.
Those, you know those little stocking things you wear whenever you're supposed to try on shoes? He just wears those.
Stocking things. I mean, look, hold on,
Like,
don't
what-
insult the man like that, Blake. You don't know what he does behind closed doors.
You don't know me.
You don't know what he does behind closed
You
doors.
don't know him.
We've got
What
some.
if he does wear stonkers?
We've got
How do
some
you know what
different
yours?
things in the chat here. Some people are saying Crocs. Reasonable. We've got Uggs. He wears Ugg boots, apparently.
Oh,
He wears Uggs.
We've got turtle shells. Very nice.
Toe shoes.
And toe shoes.
Toe shoes?
fuck is toe shoes?
Like those,
I don't know
like
what those are.
the shoes, like the stamps, the straps. I'm assuming.
What is he, an Egyptian from the fucking BC or something?
From BC.
Who wears toe shoes? Toe shoes. Yeah, BC, before fucking Christ.
He wears
That would be BFC.
No, before Christ.
fucking Christ.
I didn't say. Hold on. Okay, no,
You
no.
said
BC.
before fucking Christ, so that'd be BFC.
Oh, who gives
That's
a
an
fuck about the
entirely
literal-
different period
The
of time.
literal bullshit.
You're the one who said it, not me.
Literal bullshit.
You know what I was saying.
You
Come
know.
on.
I knew what you were saying.
You
You said
know.
before fucking.
You know.
We're gonna have
Wow.
a timeline now, so before fucking Christ.
Yeah, I know my history. I know when the motherfuckers were building the goddamn pyramids with the goddamn toe shoes. That's
Oh.
bullshit. I would never do that. You're gonna have to kill me twice before you think I'm lifting a heavy rock up a goddamn
We
pyramid.
weren't gonna kill you.
What about the toe shoes? Would you go for that?
I'm not wearing toe shoes. What the hell do I
What
look like?
if they were Timberland brand?
What do I look like? A fucking retired, a retired 57-year-old in fucking the South or something? Retired or something? Wearing toe shoes?
It sounds like you can embrace the style.
Tim's till the day I die. I wear Tim's till my fucking feet
So
collapse.
Tim toe shoes.
There's no Tim. Why don't disrespect the Timberland because they have done nothing to nobody here. They've been nothing but lifesavers in human history.
I've actually have one pair of Timberland shoes.
Good.
I just found
wore them
Timberland toe
about
shoes.
like a maximum of 7 times.
Jesus Christ. Well, you know what? You're saving the
That's my
prestige,
fault.
though.
Well, here, how's this? I don't need to fucking wear them because it makes me hot as hell in them.
Well, wash your socks.
I do wash my socks.
Oh, you're not washing them enough.
I'm not washing them enough.
Che,
Alright.
Timberland.com. Men sandals, men's Eldridge sandals. Now $50 just for you, buddy. Toe shoes. There you go.
Yeah, you know what? That's on them. They've been corrupted by some jackass that I don't know his name to make fucking sandals. That's on them. I'm still wearing the boots.
You're wearing boots.
Right now,
I'm still gonna wear the boots.
Wear the toe shoes. okay.
What a boot in.
Okay.
Perfect. So there's that, the boots. Oh look, Mr. Evil AJ is here, perfectly on time. How's it going, Mr. Evil AJ?
He's been here for a while.
Tired.
What do you mean he's
AJ,
been?
what-
Oh, he's been here for a while, Moogle, and you didn't segue him in.
Oh,
What did you?
I was
you guys
supposed to
want be
encourage him?
interrupted?
Yeah, exactly.
There has been several instances if he's been here for a while to be able to segue him in, Mr. Moogle.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
dare
he's-
you?
He's just being quiet. That's
That
all.
is slander.
Oh,
That's
okay.
And
That was
anyways,
AJ. What his
It's
favorite
my
shoes?
fault that I didn't introduce him.
we've got Mr. Evil AJ. The reason for This Is How You Don't Play is, of course, and the reason why Phil almost died earlier yesterday. How do you feel on this fantastic day, Mr. AJ?
Oh God! First thing I saw when I woke up was, I guess what happened to what? Liana's father.
What
Jesus
happened?
You didn't hear about that?
No, we've been live.
Apparently, Liana's father got swatted.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was the first thing I saw when I got on Twitter. I was like, oh shit.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
If that's true, I mean.
But will we ever get proof?
Well, awesome, AJ. You come bearing good news. I'm glad that's the first thing out of your mouth.
That's such great news.
What is your interpretation of that, Mr. AJ?
Interpretation of what?
The swatting. What is your take on it?
Oh, God damn, dude. I mean, honestly, I don't even know what to say to that, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty speechless about that. Like, I don't even know what to say to that, honestly.
What about the one now?
Well, I'm surprised, like, it happened again today.
Yeah.
But this time to Liana's parents, I guess. That's pretty shocking to me. I did not see that coming.
Why wouldn't it happen to Phil's parents and to her parents? Who gives a fuck about her?
Yeah. And from what I understand, well, without getting deep into her personal life or anything like that, but my understanding is that there isn't really much information that anyone has on him, since she was previously just living with the mother. From stories she's told, she spent the majority of the time with her mother. That's really weird. That's really weird that somebody would find that anyway, too. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah.
But anything else, AJ? Is there any other things going on other than this terrible news that you bring us?
Shame on all of you guys for making This Is How You Don't Plays.
Well, shame on you. No. Oh, no, don't you dare that. Shame on you for making it in the first place, AJ.
Hey, that unintentionally became popular, right? I did not think that shit was going to happen. If I knew that shit was going to happen, I probably would have done that shit anonymously. But whatever. Let the past be the past.
It's your fault, AJ. It's your fault. You killed him.
Died.
You almost killed him.
He
yesterday,
almost got shot.
You know what? Next time you see someone make a design, don't just tell them. You almost killed Phil.
Yeah, you need to be the person, AJ.
Oh, hell no.
As patient zero, you need to be the person that goes to every single video and says, no, we need to stop. Phil almost died.
Oh, yeah, like if they're going to fucking listen to me.
You orchestrated the entire thing, AJ. You are the mastermind. You are the hive mind of this entire operation.
You are the architect.
You evil person, you. By the way, what shoes do you wear?
Person.
Huh?
What shoes do you wear?
Sandals.
All right.
Would you say you wear toe shoes?
What an outstanding brand. I wear Sandal brand sandals.
With socks.
With socks. There you go.
Oh, that's dirty.
My God.
Che, where you at, buddy? We'd
Yeah.
love to hear your take on this.
I think he's dead.
I think he had a heart attack from this. Now, including Phil, now you killed AJ too, or you killed Che too. So.
Oh, great.
Thanks, AJ. Just you're on a spree today. All right. So moving on. We would like to. Yes. What was that?
Oh, never mind.
It got very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There needs to be sound.
Well,
any
Nomad will
more
probably
topics?
update us on what he wanted to say 10 minutes from now, but we'll move on. another topic that we had submitted to us. Oh, and by the way, Alice submitted to us the two of the other topics that we did. Sorry, I forgot to keep track of that. Alice, thank you very much for those topics. Here is a good one that I think should be a lot of fun for us. Your favorite games growing up. This is by Cyber Iceblood. So let's go in order. Alice, why don't you tell us about some of your favorite games when you were growing up? And by the way, let me just cut you off real quick. I just want to give quick notice. This that you can see on screen right now is one of my favorite games growing up at this present time. This is the Sons of Kojima game that is being created as we speak by Mr. Dusty Zarito. He has been hard at work, and he put together this playable demo that I guess we can try to link in the stream. You guys can play it, see if you guys like it. But this is something that Dusty did. We were all surprised by it. We had no idea that he was going to do this, but he sort of put something in our chat, surprised us with this. This is the SoK game. This is me playing the SoK game on the PC. And as you can see, there is me, the main character, and I enjoy that very much. So, SoK game, $2 million Kickstarter, maybe 5, maybe 10, but donate to the Kickstarter for that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If we can get 2 million, that would be fantastic for this. But there you go, Dusty Zarito, SoK game. Special shout out to Dusty. Please enjoy watching that. We enjoyed playing it. Anyways, back to Alice. Before I so rudely interrupted you, ma'am, what is the games you enjoyed growing up with?
Well, first of all, I think Beyonce had the greatest music video of all time. And actually, that's such a hard one because there's so many great games out there. I'd have to say Parasite Eve is one of my favorite games that I played my childhood. Contra games were great. Crash Bandicoot, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Medieval, and the Halo games. So I'd have to say all of those are my favorite games from my childhood.
All right, who's next? Now you made a sound drill. That means you.
Okay, well, my favorite games growing up were mainly Super Mario World on SNES, the Aladdin game on SNES. Also, a couple PS2 games like Max Payne, Kingdom Hearts, and Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube. I spent a lot of hours on that. And there was also Final Fantasy X for the PS2. That was really fun.
Nice.
I'll go next. Why not? Since I got to use the bathroom anyway. But my favorite games growing up, 2 of them. Street Fighter 2 and Super Street Fighter 2, if you count that as the same game, because me and my brother used to play it all the time. We still play it to this day. I'm a former Super Turbo player, if you didn't know. Former pro Super Turbo player, if you didn't know. And Final Fantasy VIII, because that was the first JRPG I ever played. I got it because it was 4 discs in one case, and I thought it would mean 4 times the game.
Nice.
I'm gonna say Psychonauts, the best game ever made.
That's it?
Seriously?
Well, he said the best. So
if I have to, Snowboard Kids 2.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Goddamn signal. You say fucking Psychonauts is terrible? I'll fucking kill you, Pascal.
Oh shit!
I'll stab you in the.
Talk about.
Whoa, guys.
Save the arguments for later.
Oh.
But anyway, I guess I'll talk about my favorite games when I grew up. I played a lot of Super Nintendo when I was younger because I got it for a Christmas gift one year, and I killed a lot of hours playing Super Mario World trying to not be terrible at it, and then Super Mario All-Stars much later on, which was like a remake of all the other games that I've never actually played until like much later in the years where I had access to a Nintendo, where I was like, wow, this game looks even worse. But because I jumped to the generation in 16-bit way before I played 8-bit. 18. the fuck, 8-bit. But and then I also grew up with N64. I played mostly N64 way more than PlayStation. It wasn't until like 2 years after that. But I played games like Super Mario 64. I played GoldenEye a lot. I played Jet Force Gemini, which is one of my favorite Rare games. I played a bit of Banjo-Kazooie. I didn't really play it all the way through, but I played a bit of that. And I know I killed a lot of time. I don't know why. Of all the games that I could possibly play was Quest 64. I don't know why. When I was a kid, I have a love-hate relationship with that game, and it pissed me off, but I kept playing it anyway. I don't know why. It's such a stupid game, but I enjoyed it a lot. And then PlayStation, Final Fantasy IX being my first game that I've played on the PlayStation. I've played the ever-living hell out of those games, like all the Final Fantasy games afterwards, and Nine's always been my favorite, and of course, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's really what I've like. Those are the highlights of my childhood.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
One of my first favorite games was Spyro. It was the only game my mom would allow me to play because I was like 4 when I first started. So I had that. I had Mega Man Battle Network, which was very underrated in my opinion, just because I didn't see a lot of people playing it. Pokemon, obviously. And I also played Super Smash Bros. Melee eventually. But here's the story about that. I was 5 when it came out. Well, actually, no. I was 5 when I wanted it for some reason. I don't know why. So I had a PS2, and I didn't know that it was made by Nintendo, and I didn't know the name of the game. I just saw one of my cousins playing it, and I'm like, I want that game. So I go to my father, and he's like, all right, what game do you want? And I didn't know the name of the game, so I just made up a name. I don't know why. I do that all the time. I would do that all the time as a child, just make up a name for a game. So I said Crash Bash, which is actually a game. And I wonder, and I realized this once he finds the game. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't the game. And then my next question was, how'd you find this? He found a game that I just made up off the top of my head. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I know. He just makes, I make up Crash Bash off the top of my head, and there happens to be something called Crash Bash, which is pretty much a Crash Bandicoot party game. It was okay. It was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed that for a while until I got Super Smash Bros. So, I mean, that was a plus. Aside from that, just Tekken, but yeah.
Good God.
So, that's my story.
Wow, that's interesting.
I was surprised myself. You should have saw me. I put in the game. I'm like,
this is Melee.
This ain't Melee. What the hell is this?
Where's Pikachu? Where's Pikachu?
That's great.
Where's Pichu? And I'm like 5 too. I'm just like, oh, okay, this is fine.
This isn't Nintendo characters.
I had a PS2. I didn't know any better. I was like, oh, well.
Yeah. But
I was 5, so it's like, it was funny as hell though. Now that I think about it.
Oh, it's hilarious. It sounds like it'd be a really funny situation to be in.
Yeah.
Dude.
I played a lot of games when I was a kid, like insane amounts. I played Mario 64, played Digimon World 1, 2, and 3. I played Pokemon, all of them literally. What else have I done? I played this Mickey Mouse game on the Super Nintendo. I cannot remember it for the life of me, but I remember shooting corks.
Castle of Illusion?
No, I think Castle of Illusion.
No, you're talking
Genesis.
about you're talking about Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. I think that game was made by Capcom.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
Capcom made the best Disney-centered games back in the '90s.
Yes.
Like
Yes, they did.
the Aladdin game and Goof Troop.
Yeah, true.
Those games were awesome.
I remember playing Speedy Gonzales when I was a kid, Tiny Toon Adventures when I was a kid. I played a lot of Mega Man Battle Network. I played a whole bunch of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. I played some Yu-Gi-Oh! That was on the PlayStation 1. I still have that game, actually.
Forbidden Memories, right?
Yeah, it was so hard to understand half the time for me when I was a kid.
If you think that was hard to understand, play Duelist of the Roses on PS2.
I've played it, actually.
Word.
What else did I do? Did a lot of Donkey Kong Country.
Damn.
Literally anything you can think of back then. I played a lot of Legend of Zelda. Just anything you can think of, and all the Mario World games. So I played a lot of games.
I'll tell you what, I was a weird little fucking kid. I tell you what. But there's one fucking game that really, I threw my fucking Game Boy at the wall, and it was Pokemon. And the reason why I threw my fucking Game Boy at the wall is because y'all remember that fucking glitch with that fucking jackass missing no dot or whatever the hell it is?
Missing no, yeah.
Yeah, missing no. Yeah, so I'm playing the game, and I run into that motherfucker, and I swear to God, it looked like a demented Statue of Liberty. It was the creepiest fucking thing I saw. So I kept on tapping at the screen because it looked fucked up. As I was thinking my Game Boy's messed up. It scared the fuck out of me. I threw my fucking Game Boy at the TV.
Oh,
It looked like a demented Statue of Liberty, missing no dot. It was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. If you ever seen a Statue of Liberty in its pose, it looked like someone beat the shit out of it, shot a rocket launcher out of it, called in a couple airstrikes on the Statue of Liberty, and put it back together. Dude, fuck that game. And fuck Resident Evil Director's Cut. That game scared the shit out of me.
The only thing I want to say, there's one more I forgot, which actually does go into Che because I broke this game because of it. So my mother thought it was a good idea to get me an educational game because she thought I was so into video games, might as well make it utilize that. So she got me Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And I was in 5th grade, and I was not smarter than a 5th grader. Well, let me tell you what I did. This one shithead little kid did not get the question right when I said copy. I took out the game, and I fucking broke it. Thinking about that now makes me realize how fucking dumb I am now. Just makes me feel so depressed.
You're little dude, you were a fucking kid, dude. When I played Dead Rising for the first time, I was so pissed off and I was so fucked up that I fucking almost broke my Xbox 360 and I fucking almost fractured my hand punching a tree like 1,000,000 times. Dead Rising, I was so pissed off because the motherfucker was so slow and I hated the way the game plays that I actually ripped the fucking disc tray out of my Xbox 360, went out back and started hitting my tree, even though I could have went to my friend's house. He lived 3 houses down me and he had a punching bag. Instead of making that 5-minute walk, I go wail on the fucking tree and almost fracture my hand.
Yeah, that game had its issues. I kind of got mad at it when I was a kid, too.
It was so fucking slow. Dude, he walked like he had shit up his ass or something.
Dude, I replayed the beginning segment so many times. I was level 40 before I actually started to play through the game.
This went from childhood to anger real fast.
Wait, were we talking about like our
We were talking about childhood games that we played.
Oh, I remember playing Bully on PS2 and getting stuck on the mission where you're supposed to fight the nerds and they keep shooting you from everywhere, and I got so pissed that I almost threw the controller. Like, I fucking hate the part where you're supposed to fight the nerds and they shoot you from the fucking tower.
Fuck nerds, man. Fuck nerds, fuck the jocks.
Yeah, well, the jock missions are actually really fun. I just hate the nerd one.
The Consumo game was pretty annoying in that game. You try to get the nerd safe house, and in order for you to get it, you have to beat that little arcade game, beat the highest score.
Oh, okay, I know what I'm talking about now. Yeah, fuck that. It's fucking ridiculous.
Is there?
I guess I'm nuts.
We're talking about childhood games, right?
Childhood games. Oh,
Childhood
man.
games that made you rage.
Or made me rage.
No,
Mario
not rage,
Sunshine.
just or anything.
You know, I love Mario Sunshine. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But that game, when I was younger, that game pissed me off so goddamn much because I just sucked at platformers. And that game, it's such a good game, and I understand that now. But when I was younger, I hated that fucking game, man.
Glover was a game
Glover
that pissed
was
me
the
off.
shit.
No, I know, because it's the weirdest reason. I was a kid, and I was so confused and angry how an inflated glove was walking around and doing that shit. It just made me mad because it didn't make any sense. I'm kind of like looking at myself like, how the fuck is a glove doing all this shit? So I tried inflating a glove and making it walk, and it didn't work. So I got mad at the game.
How fucking drugs were you doing?
I don't know, dude. I don't remember much of my hood. Everything's a blank to me. How the fuck do you motherfuckers remember what happened 20, 10, 15 years ago? You guys are like elephants.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
a lot
it's
of
kind of easy.
blurs.
Maybe it's from getting hit in the head in boxing or something.
I know. I know. That had nothing to do with it. It's scientifically bullshit.
It's not scientifically.
I'm just joking. Don't worry.
Oh.
I'm just joking. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe it's because I'm just
Drugs.
too fucking. It's okay to be Che. Just remember that.
All right. I actually like that motto. It's okay to be Che. That's great.
New hashtag. It's
Someone
okay
say
to be
something.
Shay.
Someone say something. Anybody remembers that boxing game Facebreaker?
Nope.
No.
Fuck that fucking game. That game is
Ready to
All I've
rumble
heard-
boxing.
All I've heard is that it was insanely hard and a lot of people hated it.
No, it was not. It's just really, really bad. It's so fucking. It's a knockoff
shit.
Ready to Rumble, basically.
I used to play that game.
Fucking hate Facebreaker. I played that game when I was younger. I bought it like day one. I thought it was gonna be the coolest shit ever. Game fucking sucks.
I remember one time I went to Blockbuster and went and rented Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. Worst weekend of my life.
Rip in peace.
Oh, not 06.
God, Blockbuster. Yo, I'm so hot. I'm so happy.
And the
Blockbuster.
sad thing was that was the first Sonic game I ever played.
Yo, I'm so happy Blockbuster ain't around anymore because I had like a $500 debt because I forgot to return the game. Ooh, I dodged a bullet on that one because they were like 2 miles away from me.
Did you run the game in 1999?
I didn't. Yo, honestly, nah, that was on my fucking cousin. That fucking jackass got my mom to fucking rent the game in 2000. He loses the fucking game, and that shit was like on her debt for like years until they shut down.
What game was it?
I don't know. And you know what? If it's a
Was
bad
it at
game,
least a good game?
if it's a bad game, then I'm gonna go see him about it. Because if he made us rack up our debt over a bad, I'm gonna be pissed. But that jackass loses the game in someone else's car, and the funny thing is, 2 days later after he left inside the car, the dude trades the car for someone else. I think it was a South Park game, and I'm gonna be pissed.
that one?
South
That
Park
one's
64.
That one's terrible.
It could have been
It
Love Shack.
sucked.
Yeah.
It could have been Love Shack.
You know, it wasn't Love Shack because I remember you was going around shooting stuff.
Oh, fuck yeah, fuck
That's
that fuck game. That's
the
the worst fucking.
It's a
N64
shitty
one. That
one.
one's terrible.
It was terrible. Thank you. And
It
if you're
was
listening to this,
stupid.
cousin, thank you for being a fucking jackass and racking up a day. You're lucky Blockbuster shut down.
And I like Blockbuster though. They had towards the end of their lifespan, they had this thing going with like $20 a month. You could have unlimited game rentals. Like you just go in, like swap the game out, walk out. Like you can have the game for as long as you want. Like to be any game, any console, any amount of time. It's just like $20 a month, and basically, like I don't know. I liked it because I could get pretty much every brand new game like the day it came out just by walking in and then walking out.
You know,
It was pretty cool.
The funny thing about Blockbuster is that I remember one time there was a story, and my mom saw it that this fat drunk guy went inside, had a bag, took like 16 fucking DVDs, shoved it in the bag, and just ran out. And on his way in the parking lot, he trips and fucking falls, and the cops bust him. That's the weirdest fucking thing. I don't know what that dude was doing.
You had an odd childhood. Like,
I
just make
tell
that
you,
very
look,
clear.
What I can remember from it, there's a lot of blanks drawn, but I do remember having a lot of great times.
Yeah, but you remember the ones that are fucked up as hell. Well, not fucked up, the ones that are weird.
It's funny. Watch.
I know,
seeing
it's
a
fun.
fat
I'm not
guy
saying it's
trip.
not funny.
Burp, 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 burp,
Yeah.
burp, 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 burp.
Fat guy robbing a Blockbuster. That's great. That's a great story to have.
I know, man. It's amazing, man. The uniqueness, the life is beautiful when you think about it.
And it's only in Jersey.
Yeah. Hey, man, we experience shit that no one else can think of.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually in Jersey as well.
That's
And
why I
there's
said
this,
we.
yes. And I saw this one time, this guy came up to me and my father and asked me what year it was. And rightfully so. I'll put this in perspective. It was near New Year's Eve, so it's understandable. But the next thing he asks me, I was like, okay, what month is it? May or April? I don't fucking know, dude. Maybe it's the snow on the ground. Maybe that would give you a hint.
You know, I had this one guy, and people said he got hit by lightning, but outside of Little Caesars, and he was just telling me how Lyndon B. He always used to fucking talk about, well, back in my time, Lyndon B. Johnson was a terrorist. And he would go on for hours about this fucking ex-president being a terrorist, and I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I said, and I was really dumb when I was younger, so I said, who the fuck is Lyndon B. Johnson? I thought he was like a senator or something.
Yeah. Your first problem is going to Little Caesars. Fuck Little Caesars. They're fucking
Motherfucker, yeah, I told it was fucking cheap, boy. What do you want me to do, Blake? I was fucking 15. What do you want me to eat? Lobster and shit? Caviar? Have a nice little fucking $600 fucking wine that's been in the goddamn cellar for 200 years?
Have a nice $17 steak from a butcher shop.
$17 fucking steak. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's how much mine costs to get them from a butcher shop.
$17. You eat that shit in like half a day.
That's too much.
Get some fucking ham sandwiches like a normal human being.
I don't want ham sandwiches, Jay.
You know what? There's turkey, there's salami, there's bologna. There's different ways you could flip the fucking switch
Here,
for
buddy,
cheap.
I don't like putting salami in my mouth.
Ribeye, fucking 17 T-bone, goddamn steak. You're dining with kings and queens, huh? You're dining with King Henry VIII?
It's funny that you think you can get a good T-bone for $17.
I go to the store, I'm like, give me this cut of meat, give me this cut of meat.
Fucking
pay
jackass
like
as Queen
32
Elizabeth.
bucks. I walk out, I go home, I oil the pan, I put some thyme in the pan, and yeah, I mean,
$17 for
it's
one
actually
steak.
30. It's like 32, 34 for two.
What is the Japanese emperor living next to you or something? How the fuck can you afford that on a daily basis? What are you dining with Queen Elizabeth?
Well, I
We're
can't
getting
really,
hostile over food.
I can't say much, but you know, I got that income coming in.
Oh, you got that income coming.
I'm just gonna say shout out to El Chapo.
El Chapo. El Chapo. Who the fuck did you live next to the fucking king of Denmark or something?
El Chapo, yes, the king of Denmark.
Who the fuck is El Chapo?
He's a drug lord, dude.
You should not have told him. We wanted to hear about this.
Yeah, look it up. Chapo Guzman.
Here we go.
Well, what the fuck? I don't know about drug lords. I don't fucking pay attention to all that shit.
I make my steaks. I make them only rare, exclusively.
I bet you do make them steaks.
You'd make them steaks.
You make them steaks.
I want my rare medium steak.
Yeah.
The only kind of steak that Chase are steakums. It's fucking nasty.
Steakums are pretty good.
You got steaked out eating that.
What the fuck, Blake? I can't spend $30 every day and spend 2 hours in front of a goddamn fucking pan. If I'm gonna make a ham sandwich,
2 hours? It takes like 20 minutes at most.
$30 fucking dollars. Do you know how much that fucking is? I could go on the bus all around South Jersey for $30 fucking dollars.
Then why would you do it, Jay?
I don't know, because I don't know. I'm worried about motherfuckers.
You do that and I'll eat a good ass steak. How about that?
Yeah, I bet you will. I bet you will. Eat all the blood and shit
right
like
now.
the cannibal you are.
Cannibal. He's a cannibal for eating a steak.
Yeah,
No,
I'm a cannibal for eating an animal. A cow.
$30 fucking dollars. You're fucking crazy.
$30.
I can't believe this shit. What is wrong with some people? $30 on one steak that you're gonna eat in one day?
Hey, listen, fucker. I'm living like Larry.
You're living like Larry. Who the fuck you robbing?
I told you, man. El Chapo.
Who the
he's looking
fuck
out
you
for me.
robbing? You robbing an emperor or something?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm Robin Hood, but I don't take for myself.
Get me a
I don't
fucking
give back to
job.
anybody.
You know, look, I'll be Robin Hood too. Where the fuck they at? Because I want to eat $30 a steak. Motherfuckers, $30 lasts me a long time. I'm tired of being like a cheap motherfucker. Where you robbing and where's the hood at?
I'm the hood.
I'm just kidding. Anyway,
Oh god. Oh, I don't even. I
Sons
don't
of
know what we're
Kojima, hold on.
talking
The
about.
Sons of Kojima do not support robbery, felon, arson, or any of that crazy shit.
Felon. We don't support felon.
We don't support felonies.
Felon.
What about El Chapo? Is
El
he
Chapo.
supported?
Felon.
We don't got no
Shut
problem
up.
with El Chapo.
All right.
I think we might, but all right.
Yeah, nah, you're good.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Hey man, I have him on speed dial. You best watch what you say.
Yeah, Blake's gonna call El Chapo.
You said that as quaint as possible. You better watch what you say there.
I might say a cuss word.
He might say a cuss word.
Oh, you better watch what you say. Oh my goodness, you better watch. Or I get hell guapo on you. I bet you flick your fucking hand when you say that. I'm gonna get all guapo on you.
All right, and with that, we are going to wind down this episode of the Sons of Kojima podcast. This is 36 grand episodes. Thank you very much to everyone for coming. Thank you for our two illustrious guests, of course. I guess we'll wind through and talk about who was here and what they've been up to and where you can find them after this show in case you feel so inclined. So first of all, Mr. Blake.
Where to begin? I've been playing Fallout. I'm done with school for the year, so my summer officially started today. And if you want to follow me on social media, which
Please
I
don't.
would
Do
not
not.
recommend
Do
at
not.
all,
Do not.
you can follow me at RealFitFinley, all one word.
Don't.
Don't
for the love
highly
of God.
recommend it. It's a very family-friendly Twitter. It's very
I swear to fucking God, he was talking about putting up something, so don't talk about it.
well, I was not talking
He
about
likes
this.
to post pictures of himself taking a bath.
He hates
Finley
the
dick?
WWE. Don't look at it.
Nah, I don't hate it. I just don't watch it regularly.
But Finley dick.
That's a national treasure. You watch your mouth.
All right. Continue.
You're always taking pictures of yourself in the fucking bath.
Hey man, I gotta get my daily bath pick in, you know.
Take a shower, you fucking savage.
Mr. Pascal, where can we find you and what have you been up to?
You can find me on YouTube at Pask4L, and you can find me on Twitter at TAIHYDP. And I have been playing Borderlands, and I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV.
Alrighty, Mr. Nomad, where can we find you and what have you been up to?
My Twitter is at the Dark Lurker, and my YouTube is Nomad510. I might start streaming. Might stream Slender the Arrival maybe time this week or.
Oh shit! A
next
charity challenge.
Yeah,
Do it,
I
dude.
get that done, and supposedly the air guitar challenge. I'm gonna try to get those done as soon as possible.
Oh shit! Alrighty.
Yeah, keep an eye out for those if you're interested.
Beautiful, Mr. Lester. Where can we find you and what have you been up to, sir?
I never got to say what I used to play when I was a kid, but I used to play Grand Theft Auto Vice City all the time.
There you go. A good man in my book. There you go.
Yep. I am on Twitter at Knuckle Plus. I am on Twitch, so on Knuckle Pro, and I'm on YouTube at Knuckle Pro.
Beautiful, Mr. Miles.
What's up?
Where can we find you and what have you been up to?
You can find me on Twitter at DarkSealPhil and Miles S Reset. Right now, I'm trying to figure out when I can get my capture card to work. I have two of them and one's on the fritz right now. I want to actually record, but the last couple of days I've been playing Witcher, Splatoon, and Final Fantasy XIV.
Beautiful. Mr. We'll do Mr. Drillbit. Where can we find you and what have you been up to, sir?
Well, you could find me on Twitter at Drillbit777, and right now I've been mostly trying to find a job so I could buy a PS4 and a new PC. Maybe start recording some games and streaming. Though right now I'm just playing some Fire Emblem and Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
Very nice. Our other illustrious guest with us, Mr. Cyanide Caesar. Mr. 2 of 3 guest. Where can we find you and what have you been up to?
You can find me on Twitter at Cyanide Caesar. As usual, I'm a lonely fuck, so you can chat me whenever. Right now, I've just been talking with some people, some close friends of mine, thinking what we can do this summer to kind of make things interesting on YouTube. Make some videos, probably. Fuck around a bit. That good stuff.
Why don't you guys try to do your own version of Jackass?
You know, actually, we probably could do that.
Yes. Alrighty. Our well, I don't want to say our other guest, but our featured guest, the one and only Vaping and Gaming, Mr. Vaping and Gaming. Where can we find you and what have you been up to, good sir?
Well, you can find me on twitter.com/DJCHISZLE and YouTube under the same thing, followed by the number 1, or you could just search Tevin C and I'll show up and R&B singer show up, so that's exciting. And what I've been up to, pretty much random various stuff, trying to contemplate all of the DSP drama. Hopefully it kind of goes away for a little while. because I still plan on doing my next Sonic stream because the first one was ridiculous. And to quote a famous, world-renowned poet, all I want to be is El Chapo.
Ah, shit. There it is. Well, thank you very much for your time tonight, Mr. Vaping and Gaming. We're looking forward to the Sonic stream. The last one was pretty good. The last Sonic we got on YouTube was pretty good. So, looking forward to that. Be on the lookout for that, ladies and gentlemen.
About 8 hours of death.
We've also got the bearer of bad news, the one who created all of this madness and sacrificed Phil's safety for his own enjoyment, Mr. Evil AJ 2010. You monster, you. What have you been up to other than ruining people's lives and putting them in danger of death? And where can we find you other than probably prison in the next couple months?
You could just find me on Twitter at EvilAJ2010, and that's pretty much it for now.
You monster.
Yay.
We move on to the... Well, I can't think of any superlatives for this, so let's just call him Che. Mr. Che.
The fuck are you talking about?
Where can we find you, and what have you been up to?
Oh, you can find me, the man with the plan. The man that only has to spend $5 on ham and lasts almost a fucking week. You can find me at Retrospective PC, and you can find me on there. And guys, please stop leaving me questions asking me to retweet women. I'm waiting. I retweeted all the women I can. They keep on showing me the same fucking pictures. Be patient. Be patient, my friends.
Beautiful. We've also got the fantastic Alice. Where can we find you, and what have you been up to?
You can find me at Alice at 7 in Context on Twitter, and I've been up to a lot of things, mostly being a pleb, slandering Pascal, trying to get Miles into anger management, and just hanging out in Wonderland generally.
Perfect.
But yeah, thank you for letting me come on here and annoy you guys and your viewers.
Anytime. The man that is usually behind the scenes, the man who formerly made the things appear on all of our screens, the master of Moogles, 102 of them to be exact. Where can we find you, and what have you been up to?
All right, so you can find me on Twitter, where I will post announcements and updates on my current situation, which is about me moving out. But when I do come back, I will be covering the SOK game, the demo. I will be covering that when the time comes on my YouTube channel itself, and on you can find my YouTube channel under Moogle Master 102, and on Twitch, where I will be. Well, actually, you know what? You can find me on Twitch under Moogle Master 102. Speaking of streams, I've been wanting to do this for a while as a bonus for a charity incentive myself. What I'm planning to do is I'm going to be doing a marathon where I do a reaction of terrible episodes. Well, not terrible episodes, but really bad places, I guess, that Kitchen Nightmares has covered. One including the Amy's Bank Company episode. I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing a reaction on that when I do come back. When I'm all settled in and ready to start doing more content again. Once I kind of reinvigorate myself from this situation that, well, not really, it's a big situation. It's just me moving in and doing other stuff, but I want to be able to relax in that. But when I do come back, I will be covering that. And and I'll, like I said, you check my Twitter for updates on that, and I will be covering that, and I'll be updating you on my situation of the move and that, and let everyone know that I'm okay. That's pretty much it.
Beautiful.
I forgot, because I didn't mention my Twitter. You can find me on Twitter under Moogle Senpai, and that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. And yours truly, Mr. Frederick Fox. You can find me on Twitter at TIHYDP, the acronym for This Is How You Diss Pascal. You can also find me on YouTube, users/It's Fred Fox, or you can type in Fred Fox. You'll find a nice Tony Montana avatar. That's me. And you can also find me. I was gonna think of something clever to say, like. Anyways, that is I, Fred Fox, the cause and root of all life's problems. Of course, if anything happens to you in life, please blame me. I am used to it. Anyways, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Thank you to our illustrious guests. Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to all of the viewer submitted topics. We appreciate that very much. Be on the lookout for more charity challenges as they are coming. Be on the lookout for more videos, charity challenges, such, all that different stuff, content, fun stuff. Watch our stuff, I guess, if you feel like it. If you don't feel like it, that's cool too. We love you. Go fuck yourselves. Good night.
Goodbye.
Nerds.